Everybody, Z with ZandGEmporium. So, when you have a market like this, when there's a lot of money flowing into it, a lot of new people, look at the Google Trends, Pokemon TCG has just spiked. A lot of new people, there's Pokemon Pocket coming out. There's new sets coming out. There's a lot of, they're doing collaborations, Pokemon, with different clothing companies and different brands. And, so there's a lot of new people into it. There's a lot of money flowing into it. There's a lot of, record sales, Modern's a lot of money into it. When stuff happens like that, there are, things that happen in especially auctions. When people get FOMO or people want something immediately, that stuff gets weird. I mean, stuff gets weird. And, we made an Instagram post that had like a Rayquaza VMAX from Evolving Skies went for over $1,000. Now, I know there are buy it nows on there for $650, $700, but people cannot seem to wrap their head around the chance that stuff goes for above buy it now. It happens all the time. Auctions go for way below buy it now as well. It happens. This is an extremely volatile market. There's new people, but there's always cries about manipulation when something just doesn't go for the exact amount as it was before. There's always cries, and it's pretty insane. Now, are there people who shill items out there? Yes, there are, and we will catch them. Sometimes we don't. I mean, there's no way to catch every single thing out there, but we try our best. That's the best you can hope for in a company that's running these auctions. We've banned 3 people over the past 90 days who we've caught and had them on a list and return their cards, and they can't use us anymore. But granted, they're probably just going to go to another consignment place and it's going to be sold, and there's no way you can do it. We have pest control in our house that comes every once in a while. We do, anytime there's a bug we see, like a spider, like you can't catch all the spiders in your house. Like, there's just no way you can do it. There's going to be a spider underneath your bed. There's going to be a spider in your baseboard. Doesn't matter how much you do to prevent it. There's going to be spiders in your house. All you can do is try to remove them when you see them, and that's that. That's all you can do, especially with like a company like ours that's getting bigger and bigger and growing and growing. If you have a bigger house, you're gonna have more spiders in it. And so, all you can do is to try to prevent that. But in this situation, I don't really see anything, suspicious in terms of looking at the bid history. If you look at the bid history of any single item, every single item, you could have a case of like, that looks a little suspicious. What's going on there? This feedback person's putting a lot of bids that are this amount of money, or this person's 0 feedback, or this one's 1,000 feedback. Guys, for some reason, it seems like to be kind of the consensus that, if 1,000 feedback person is bidding on something and another 1,000 feedback person is bidding on something, then that's a good auction. Like, there's nothing suspicious there, right? Guys, I have literally hundreds of people with 1,000+ feedback banned on our eBay block list. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's a 0 or 1,000. There are good people and bad people. It doesn't matter what kind of that facade out there. We've had cases of people who have big businesses or have a lot of money who do like crypto scams and do scams in this market, and it's like, why are you doing that? It doesn't make any sense. It's just the person's either a good person or a bad person. It doesn't matter what the facade is, what their social media following is, what how much feedback they have in you. It doesn't matter. So don't just say like, oh wow, there's a lot of high feedback people bidding on this, so it's a good auction. Or there's this other auction where there's 2 feedback and a 5 feedback and a 40 feedback and a 0 feedback, and all that's very suspicious, because it doesn't work like that. It absolutely doesn't work like that. So there's always cries for manipulation for when stuff goes over it, and there are new people. It does, stuff happens, and yes, when I make a post like that and put this, I want engagement. I want people to talk about it. I understand it's not like, oh, well, that's a new price now because there's one sale. We have one auctioning right now. It might go for $600, $700 this time around. I mean, and then we'll make another post, right? Oh, going down 50%. It's the same thing. Wash, rinse, and repeat over and over again to get people talking about it. But there's always cries for, manipulation when stuff goes above it. But like, it happens in the opposite way all the time. I was talking to Dan, Catch 'em All Collectibles, who he does, consignment, mostly through Fanatics, competing marketplace. But, he has some people who he still does on eBay. And he was like, yeah, I do these buy it nows for this, like, kind of niche things. And, we'll put buy it nows and I'll sell for $400, $500, every, once a week, maybe a card sells for that. But then if you auction it, you see, this stuff, doesn't come for auction too much. But when it does, it goes for like $100. Or it's a $500 card of itself for buy it now. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares if it's the opposite way, right? If an auction goes for $400 less than a $500 buy it now, nobody looks at it doesn't matter. But in the opposite way, if it goes for above, it happens. And it happens all the time. There's auctions that go for above buy it now. And it happened in the last boom. If you remember, when PWCC was on eBay, and people like saw these auction prices. These auction prices were like going for above buy it nows all the time. This is what happens in a boom. People get the FOMO and they want it right now, and they like the auction format. And especially with streamers nowadays, everything's so streamer heavy, where people are going into these breaks and stuff that's like, eBay Live or whatnot, or Fanatics Live or whatever the live platform is, whatever it is. People are like buying, clicking auctions. That's kind of the thing people like to do. So yeah, it's just an interesting concept. And I will say the person who bought that card was, I won't say anything about him except I will say it was overseas. So in that situation, could you see a situation where, these people who are listing for $600, $700 don't ship overseas? It's possible. I mean, we use global shipping program, and we have, a whole lot of feedback in that. And maybe the people just don't want to deal with that. I mean, we shipped over $1 million, probably in the next 12 months, we'll ship over millions with an S, outside of the US. It's possible those are, not really available for that person. It's also possible, if you guys don't realize, and I don't think a lot of people actually realize this who don't sell a lot of high-end cards on eBay, if you're selling stuff, to a person overseas, that card is not authenticated by PSA. I don't know. Honestly, I don't understand why it is, but that's just the way eBay authenticity works. If you are domestic, if you have a USA address, if you're a person overseas who has like kind of a middleman there and has a USA address, it will get authenticated. We have to ship it to Santa Ana, where PSA is located. They authenticate it, and then they ship it to that person. If you're buying from like you're Australia and you buy a card and it's $1,000. I don't know where this person was from. I just know I shipped it to the international hub. But let's just say it's from Australia. If they buy it, we're shipping it to the international hub, and I believe it's in Illinois. We're not shipping it to get authenticated. So once again, it's possible that this person had a bad experience with fake slabs, or watches like a lot of YouTube videos, like a Rattle or a Possum or these people who will do reports on people scamming people and having fake slabs, and they want to buy from a person who sells a whole lot and has the we have the little direct from brand check mark on eBay, and it's like they just want an authentic slab. They have bad experience, and it's not going to get authenticated by eBay, so they have to buy from someone who they know it's real. That's also a possibility. It could also be a possibility that they just overpaid. That's just, it happens all the, people don't, blink an eye about manipulation when people are selling, $5 packs for $10 every single second of every single day, on these streams, or selling $20 packs for 40, or breaking open, not even packs, selling singles for weight. People don't even seem to care about that. That's not manipulated. That's just people, FOMOing onto an auction and wanting the card, or, it happens. This is a very extremely volatile. This is not, buying Amazon stock that has a 1 cent bid and ask spread. And it's like, if you want this, it's for exactly this price. Like this is, as much, big companies are coming in and optimization, and people talk about optimization of the market. There's so much unoptimized stuff in this industry that's it's insane. It really is. So yeah, it was a legitimate sale. Did the guy overpay? Yeah. If you look at the buy nows, you overpaid. Maybe, like I said though, Maybe they wanted to buy it from, they didn't get it authenticated because they're overseas, and they'll just pay whatever it is. Or maybe it was, I don't know. Maybe the cert ended in 6-9. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I don't even know. I'll have to check that. But it's everybody always says manipulation, and some stuff is manipulated. It really it is. Of course it is. Of course it is. And we try to catch as much as we can, and I'm sure we don't catch everything. I'm absolutely positive about that, as I'm sure with everything, that is auctioned and bought fixed price out there as well. And not just auction, there are people who try to buy fixed price stuff on this and then cancel immediately. They'll buy there'll be a $2,000, I don't know, whatever, base set Charizard, legendary, whatever it is. They'll buy it and then they'll cancel immediately. And it's like you had to go through like 3 button clicks to click that buy button. The person just wanted to create a comp, so now he has a comp and his alt account, or, alt, I mean like the platform. A lot of people use the alt XYZ, whatever it's called, to put, now they have a comp. Now they can go, sell their card to whoever they have. And it's amazing how many people like do that trick, who try to buy some more stuff and then cancel. And then you look on their eBay and they have that exact card. Isn't that crazy? Just trying to create a little comp for yourself. So now you can sell that card for that price. Oh, last one went for this one, so I'll take, it does. Manipulation does happen all the time, but, a lot of times it's just a crazy market, right? Sometimes it's just a really crazy market. It's not everything's a scam. Not everything is manipulated. Actually, for the most part, most of this stuff isn't. So... Yeah. That's, it was paid. All of our posts on Instagram are paid stuff. The person paid, it's shipped, the consignment will get paid out. That's it. There are other accounts out there, like Fine Card, like who will just post stuff that's sold, even though they have no evidence of it being paid. Like they had a guy, Gold Star Ladia, or whatever it is from EX Deoxys. It was like $54,000 of finesse, sold, and they got hundreds of thousands of, clicks and people, commenting, wow, now it's the highest Gold Star. And then it was relisted on Fanatics, at auction. So it wasn't paid for. At least with ours, it's paid. Granted, there are people who say, you can pay for stuff and then you're just, creating a comp, and then, you can't satisfy everybody. You really can't. But all you can do is try your best and move forward. Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.